All right. Let's see how this works out. So I've made it go live. I've re-downloaded the Streamlabs software. There's a few settings here and there changed. Let's see how this reacts. So yeah, I've completely gone ahead and just revamped the whole thing. I said, you know what? Let me try and get to the bottom of this. Try and see how and why the stream keeps on disconnecting. So I went through their help desk. Basically, I had to apparently delete everything and see if that works. So let's try this. Give me a second. Let me just tell everybody where I am. I'm getting a lot of messages. All right, there we go. Send this out. Super. Right. So that's that. I'm gonna kill Discord because it's making too much noise, too many notifications coming in. But other than that, guys, welcome to the show. If you're new to the show, please hit that subscribe. Let's make this community grow. Should be awesome. And I see Costin here. Awesome, my brother. Nice to see you here, straight up. Yeah, I mean, I'm still going through some of the configurations, but managed to get it kind of optimal, I think. I think. Let's have a look and see, because I can't, you know what? I can't even see the stats. What's the stats right now? It's okay. Quality is good. Everything seems to be okay. Yeah, so there's a few differences you might see. I'm hoping the audio is okay. It's not bugging out or anything like that. But other than that, seems to be okay. So you might see a little bit of a difference when I change screens. For example, I now have this. There's a few bits and bobs here, like the way it reacts. It's quite cool. But yeah, listen, I'm learning. Let's see how this works. So I like that theme. It's pretty cool. It does it all for me. Pretty awesome. As long as it works, I don't really care, right? And as long as the stream doesn't die, I don't really care. So I'm going with a lot of default settings there, and you might see that the stream itself is probably not at 1080, it's probably at 720. That's how they like it. So let's see how things go anyway. I'm not going to go too far into this anymore. Okay, let's start off with Coin 360. Let's have a look at who our top 200 performers are. We can see FTM, Link, SHIB, Matic, Perv. I don't know what this is. I've seen a lot of hype around it. Doge, Zcash, One. Don't know what this is, but 192%. Probably one of those new coins that just pumped out. Anyway, market looking a bit iffy. That's all I'm going to say. Nothing too much. A little bit iffy. But we need to see other data to confirm everything. So this was yesterday 75, today 74, slightly bearish, not to worry. Yesterday I did observe that 18,000 Bitcoin moved into the exchanges at one point. That's crazy amount of number for a Bitcoin. And we did see those dumps. We can see that 17,000 have left. Now we did see a lot of exchange transfers, and there was one particular account that bought 17,000 BTC. That's pretty cool, right? And they actually did it on chain, which is awesome. That's how we like to see it. You can see this reflected here, how the BTC left. 17,000 BTC left in one shot. So very cool, very nice to see. Looking at the market cap, holding that 2.50 actually. So today it's at 2.55. In fact, if I refresh it, it might change the number a little bit, 2.54. But holding at the 2.50 trillion dollar level. That's what I've noticed, and we've hit that 13,000 mark for the scam coins. But yeah, I mean, market pretty much holding straight up, holding strong. I wouldn't really complain too much about what I'm seeing. I'm looking at liquidations, nothing too much, nothing too interesting. Obviously some bulls getting wiped out because of all of this dumps that were happening yesterday. Nothing to worry about. Now I'm looking at the Grayscale holdings, we know this is a great indicator to see what direction the market's moving. So it was at 18.99, currently it's at 15.9. That's an indication that it's super bullish. And remember, keep an eye on this particular number. If they start increasing, we know they're extremely bullish. Okay, so currently at 647. So remember, 647,000 Bitcoin. If they start adding a few more Bitcoins here, this is gonna go parabolic, right? Let's just keep it that way. Looking at the total market cap, you can see we're trying to hold that support range. The previous high is what we're trying to hold as support right now, and this is a perfect pattern. It's exactly what we are looking for, even in BTC, right? So this is a perfect pattern. Of course, there's a lot of struggle. We had a massive dump yesterday, and Friday is usually a dump day. I did mention this. I said, guys, it's just the usual Friday dump. You get whales coming out or institutions coming out, and they got to close their accounts, right? Okay, look, it's Friday. We're going to close their accounts and we're going to leave. That's what happens, because traditional traders don't trade on weekends like we do. So having institutions and regulations and the normal people, the smart money coming into crypto is okay, but also has its problems with it. Like, there's a pro and a con. So you got a lot of money coming in, of course, massive amount of money, but you have these situations where they are Monday to Friday traders. They will normally dump on a Friday and then leave, come back on a Monday. If they see the market pump, then on a Sunday, for example, Saturday, Sunday, they will probably dump even more. So they always do this because they play with a lot of risk management. That's what it is. They won't risk company funds, because then they're not great traders. A great trader is one who can protect company funds. So that was usual. Nothing too much there. Here for us, I'm just glad we held that micro support where we had the resistance before. You can see, right? We held that. Of course, remember I said to you guys that this candle itself was a confirmation candle. So it doesn't matter what people says, but doesn't matter what this story is. Oh, we hit the $67,000 level. It wasn't a happy news. It was congratulations, great, we hit that level. That's a target. But it doesn't mean anything if we can't confirm that that is it. And confirmation means the next candle will tell us exactly what the confirmation is. So we didn't have that, and yesterday I had a dump, and I was worried. I said, if we go below the 60, then we got something to worry about, because it brings us back to this support range, which is a strong support, by the way, because we spent 5 days creating this support range here. Okay, here we have nothing apart from this 4 days of support here. Now we can add these 2 more days and say, well, look, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days of support. Now this has become a much more stronger support range. So far so cool, as long as we can push back up. Now our target for us to be bullish again, because it is slightly bearish, right? For us to bullish again, we need to go above this particular candle. Hopefully, whatever we do, we need to go back to this particular area here, which is approximately the $64,000 level. Looking at the RSI, stochastic RSI, you can see the stochastic RSI has reset. Right, so it's come back down. So this red line and blue line has come back down, and the blue line has led and come back below this 20 level, which is super bullish. All we need to see now is this blue line flip and this red line follow through and then flip behind it. Problem solved. Now you know that the market's getting its momentum to go back up again. RSI, not to worry. I wouldn't panic too much about RSI. RSI could easily flip from here, go back up again. Absolutely no issues at all. We can see these moves that's happened before as well, where it looks like it's going to go down, it can flip up again. That's nothing. That's just people sentiment, relative strength index, nothing more. While we're on relative strength index, I want to move up to something else, and I want to show you this higher time frame, weekly time frame, and everything, because this is very powerful data that will make total sense to you. So let's go on a weekly data, right? On a weekly data, what we're seeing is basically RSI is still intact. There's a little bit of a bearish here, but RSI, stochastic RSI, is still intact. Okay, it is hot. It is hot, but there's nothing saying we can't stay there for a good few weeks to a few months. I mean, if you look at just these 2 lines here, this line and this line, this brings us, so this is month 1, month 2, month 3. So this is like almost 3 months playing around this level here. You can see previously as well, we've spent many weeks to months on this level. Absolutely fine. What we need to worry when we look at the weekly is if the RSI is going down or if the RSI is coming up. So if the RSI catches up, that's mean we have a peak. And also when I'll probably do a video soon with everybody where I'll show you how you can use the weekly in order for you to have a perfect entry, also a perfect exit. So right now we're very undecisive. There's no entry, there's no exit here. Your entry would have been approximately here. Okay, your entry would have been here. Sadly, obviously that's back in 2021 May. Was it May? Yeah, May, June, around that time, basically, when we went down to 28k. So that would have been your recent best entry. And then prior to that, we did have 3 other occasions where you could have, like September 2020, we had March 2020, and we had September 2019. So these are zones where you can actually enter, but I'll show you exactly how you enter and exit at those times, right? Let me see the chat, guys, because I only see Coston and then I don't see anything else, so I'm not sure what's going on. Let me double check. Yeah, still Coston, so that's cool. No worries anyway, guys. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit that like button, share with one other. It does help. We're on a mission to help as many people as possible stay on the ground. We don't want to go moon boy yet, right? We are going to go to the moon, but not quite yet. So this is what we're seeing. So far, so good. I'm looking at this. It looks fantastic. Yekta Gula, I see. Thank you, Yekta. Yekta, hopefully today we don't disconnect. Because I literally went out. I deleted the whole application, Streamlabs. Delete the whole thing, and then reinstalled it with their settings, not my custom setting. Because before I used to do it with my custom settings. Now I said no, I'm going to do it with your settings, so hopefully it doesn't impact anything. Hopefully you're going to give me the best settings. So far looks okay. I mean, if we look at this, we can see the settings are quite cool. I'm not that concerned. This is there, so I deleted all of this, deleted everything. So far connected, output, whatever that is. This is just basic modes, right? I believe, right? So this is all going on. Audio, this is whatever they want, nothing to do with me. This is where the output resolution, they're doing the 720, so you're probably seeing that. Now I would love to use a custom one because I'm not really happy with what I'm seeing. So personally, what I would like is a 1920 by 1080. So let's try and do this. Let's see if it doesn't kill me by 1080. I hope we can get this stream back to 1080 and it should be okay. So let's do this. Let's hope it stays, right? Let's hope it stays. So slave, save this. Let's see if it stays and we can get this. AXD Orchid coin. Oh, OXT. Yes, there are loads of coins. I'm actually going to show you something as well. I think you're going to love this one as well. So let's go into some of the other stuff I want to show you. Give me a second. Let me get rid of this. We done this. So I mean, we're on Bitcoin right now, but I'll just leave it there anyway for now. We'll talk about it more because on the monthly, we're still super solid. So I'm not going to waste my time on this, but we'll talk about OXT and all sorts of other stuff. Let's go here. All right, OXT. All right, so Orchid, right? Orchid launched some time ago, and it had a massive, massive pump and a massive, massive dump quite a few times. If you look here, this is 2018, then it dumped down all the way to the floor, then it had another one here back in 2020, pump up and then dump all the way back down to the floor, and it's been doing this pump and dump cycles. Now how solid the data is or how solid anything is, like, you know, the coin itself, if you're in it just for the money, it doesn't matter. If you're in it for the technology, then you got to look at things in a complete different way, right? And one of the things we need to do when we look at this kind of stuff, so let's do OXT for you, right? It will make total sense to you. So let's do this one here. Let's just, oh, that's not enough data. OXT, let's try Coinbase. Still not enough data. Let's find something that's slightly older than all of this, because it is an old coin. Let's try Huobi. No. Oh, sorry, I'm on monthly. No wonder. Duh. Somebody should have told me I'm on the monthly. Okay, this is good. All right, so we got OXT doing these little hyperparabolic moves, like pumps up and pumps down, right? So this I mean, I'm looking at this and I can see that we have these waves, and each wave is pretty much equal to the previous wave. So for example, when we had this pump, if you look carefully, it took us 397%, right? Which is fine. When you look at this area to this pump here, well, again, 380%, right? So when you're looking at this from, say, for example, this bottom here or anywhere, right? Let's just do this bottom here. We're going to be expecting another 300 and something percent. It seems to be a pattern, right? Right from the get-go, if you look carefully, it seems to be always around this kind of a pattern where, you know, it does these 300-400% pumps. So unless you've picked it up on the bottom here, you're not really safe. And I'm hoping you didn't pick up somewhere down here. If you're picking up here, climb the pump, take the wave, get out. And this is on a daily. Look, you just climb the pumps, and it becomes an ongoing pattern, and you can see this repeating pattern. So you know this is 100% a pump and dump coin. Do you know what I mean? So I would be very, very cautious. As I said, if you're in for the technology, then of course it's a different story. But if you're in for the money, climb these waves. Just look at the similarities. You don't make it up. It's on the chart. It's just ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's pretty pathetic and it's stupid when you start looking at how these things work. So please do understand, because there are other coins that I've been looking at and I'm targeting. I'm not going to buy half of them now. Some of them I already have, but I just want to show you a good example. Let me show you a really good example of some of them. Let me see if I can show you. Not this one, sorry. Yeah, show you some of these coins, not this one. Because I have done some stuff. I was doing some, I was analyzing some of the stuff with a few people just to kind of show how these works. Interesting. So yes, I did do it. So I did do it in this one, so I've lost it. Okay, let me do this again for you now. Okay, this is going to be really cool. You're going to love this one. So what you see here is from where it launched to where it went was a 66% dump. That's a 66% discount. It's obviously started moving back up, which is fine. So anybody picking up here at this bottom is okay. Even at this level, anywhere below this 50% level, you're okay, because the chances are that we might come back and test these levels. Where is it gone? I did do these, you know, I deleted it. Must have deleted it because I did these massive crazy things. Yeah, I've lost it. Anyway, doesn't matter, because I did do some of these crazy ones here, right? And I was looking at how they've been pumping or dumping and what the structures are, right, for some of these coins, right? Because you've got to look at the percentage of where they are right now and what they're doing and how the movements are. So, you know, like for example, this one, from where inception to where it is now, this is a correction, fine, absolutely understandable. But when you look at some of these other ones, I mean, this one looks super solid as well. As you can see, it's just gone up from its previous highs, doing awesome. Ego doing the same thing. I won't bother showing this. Where is it? Even this one's doing good. Yeah, here's a good coin. So look at this one, right? So this is launch, right? And from launch, what it did, it dumped. Right after launch, it dumped down to this level, which is 66%. So you had a 66% dump here. Now, from where the 66% dump happened, it started to recover. So this would be a good zone to buy. And I don't want to talk about the past, like, oh, you could have bought Bitcoin for $1. Forget that, guys. You're not buying it for $1. We're talking today. So today we need to evaluate where we are. Is it a good area to buy something for technology, or, you know, is it about to break out, or what is it about to do today? We don't care about yesterday. It doesn't make any difference, you know, because it's really important. A lot of people don't understand. Here's one. I'll show you this one. This one's still stuck, so this is good. This one still stayed. If you look carefully from where it was, the peak. So we had this dump here, fine. Then we had another peak after that. 97% dump. 97%. So this is something I'm looking at. I'm thinking, how much more can it dump during a bear cycle? Would I pick it up now, or would I pick it up in a bear cycle? I'm targeting these ones for the bear cycle. I mean, here's Mirror Protocol. Everyone's heard about how great Mirror Protocol is, but did anyone actually think that Mirror Protocol had a high, and since the high, it dumped all the way down to 84%? So this right now where it is, in my opinion, is a great discount, because you're getting from the previous high to the current low, right? Current price, basically. If you look at the red line, that's the current price. you're still getting an 80% discount. If you trust this coin, then you've got yourself an 80% discount. And then on the way up, looking at the pattern from here to here, the breakout should give you approximately 76% from your investment. So we look at this and it's like, okay, is it feasible? Is it coming back? Is this going to be good, right? But when I look at OXD, what did I see, right? So, you know, just, I hope this kind of makes sense. When you're looking at OXD, what did we see? You know, we saw something that should make total sense to everybody. Was it this one? Yeah, this one. Here you go. So this looks like a pure pump and dump to me. Institutional grade pumps and dumps. So I just hope this kind of makes sense to you. Okay, just hope. Of course, that might turn out to be something great. I mean, we did see a similar one recently, which was New Cipher, which pretty much did the same thing, right? Look at this, right? From where it was, it dumped up to this much, which is 94%. And then it did this massive pump, right? And you think to yourself, it's like, oh, who's doing it? Because it just done it all of a sudden. It just does it all of a sudden. And now obviously it's coming down. So Highlighter said Matic. Well, Matic is on a good news. Okay, Highlighter, welcome to the show, bro. I see, sorry, that was Abrovanovic. Awesome. He says hold or sell. No worries, I'll tell you right now. I'll show you Matic right now. This is what we see for Matic. Let's get rid of all of this so we can see. I mean, actually, while we're on it, let's just do it. So on the RSI, we can see the RSI is giving us a positive signal. This is a bullish divergence. Okay, so that's that. And on the chart analysis itself, we have analyzed it before. We have already given our targets actually. So our targets are at the $4 level. For the peak, we're looking at $4 level. We were expecting to break out of this range. We broke out. We have one more range, this particular area here, to test. Once we break this neckline, then we are confirmed that now we are moving back up again. Until we break this specific neckline and then this specific neckline, so hopefully I can show you. There's two necklines here, this one and this one. Until we cancel this, sadly, we are still in a downward trend. Once we cancel these trends and we create something like this here, for example, we move up and we create something, then we create a new trend. So we cancel this trend. You see what I mean? So it becomes like an X. This is what we have currently. When we create one here, we end up canceling and we create an upward trend. So that's how this one will basically start moving us up again, right? But ultimately, everyone looking super bullish. We did do the breakout. I have mentioned this before as well. I said, look guys, we're not far. Matic looks super solid. In fact, we were talking about Matic in a great buy zone around here and around here. So Matic is doing its thing. It's going to get there. Of course, if you talk about it on a longer term, then people like us who's been in Matic for a very long time, or who used to be in Matic for a very long time, we've been holding since down here somewhere. So we've already, half of us have already cashed out our initial investment. So we're not really bothered how high it goes, and that's one of the things we try and do here is explain to people that, guys, be extremely greedy, over bullish when you see the market is bloody. When this market goes down to these zones here, be extremely bullish. You know, not when the market is turning green and everything, but here what you do, you start planning your exit positions. So each one of these areas here, we're going to find resistance, and you can see, you don't make this stuff up. When we get to this level, you'll see we're going to have some resistance. So that's fine. If the momentum is good, it will push it up. There are some good news coming on regarding Yearn Finance and other bits and bobs, which will propel this. There are some great news coming out, and they should shoot it, and one shot should take it up to about $4, you know, probably even more. But I would have an exit strategy for my initial investment. So here, I don't promote anything about profits and this and that. You can make 1,000,000% by all means. Good luck to you, good luck to me, good luck to everybody. But what a lot of people forget is, what about your initial investment? What if you can take that out first? Then you have zero risk in the market. That's the key to success. Zero risk investment. So yeah, I mean, the targets that I'm seeing, each Fibonacci line will definitely be a little bit of resistance, but ultimately we are still looking at going back up again because the market's still in full force. It's in full play. Everything right now you're seeing just a little bit of a shake up, end of the month thing. We've got the options expiry and everything for Bitcoin and Ethereum coming, and that's on the 29th, by the way. And then what we've got is November. November month is very bullish. Actually, we can move into that to show you a lot more. I think it will answer a lot of stuff for you. I see gamers here. Tamil, awesome, bro. I see you asking for IOTX, right? IOTX. It's done its thing. In fact, we mentioned it just a few days ago. Actually, when this breakout happened, we did mention it. I think we mentioned in the group or something, I can't remember, but look, structure wise, super good. It's created this brand new all-time high, you know, and it's still moving upwards. This is just a minor little correction area. So for me, what I'm looking at is this pattern here. Normally, if you carefully look at this pattern here, right, so we've had this range here. This is now coming into a consolidation zone, and a consolidation zone, provided the market is moving upwards. So you see, this is a consolidation zone. Provided the market is moving upwards, we should see a breakout or a breakdown. Now, breakdown would take you approximately, so let's do this. So it's very simple. If we use this and if we do a breakdown, let's not bother. I think it's going to take us too far, but we do the Fibonacci for that one. So a breakout should take us and back to the all-time high and test, right? And we can confirm this with a little bit of a fib here as well, and we can say, okay, what does the fib tell us? Well, the fibs are telling us to expect moderate level should be around this particular level here, which is the 0.9 cents. So there's a nice little 20-30% pump there. If you are looking at it, that should really help you. But ultimately, look, the momentum is up, the trend is up. Trend is your friend until the end. So far there's a greater trend and a shorter trend, right? So we've got the greater trend here, and then we have a shorter trend here, and both of them are being very friendly to us. So absolutely okay. When will ADA move? Highlander, the one question I don't think anybody can answer for you is when, right? So we have to be very logical. Nobody has a crystal ball to say when it's going to move, but we can use the news and other sentiments in the market to give you a probability. The only thing we can give you is a probability, and right now the probabilities are looking very good. Number one, on the daily, the stochastic RSI has gone to 20, come back again. This is looking super solid. Of course, it looks a little bit bearish because of what the market is doing, but this is a reset move. Whenever we see a reset move at some area, when we come to this, it's a reset, what we will see is the market starts moving back up to this level. So that's a move that's coming. When? Nobody can tell you. Now, if we go into the chart and we look at how the chart is reacting, so far you can see how this trend line, this yellow line, is intact. Absolutely intact. All it has to do is go above this red box to cancel the momentum, cancel this trend, and then start pushing back up, right? Eventually get back to this zone. When it does, we do have a target similar to Matic, right? Similar to Matic, we do have an area which is at $4 as well. And we've talked about this not now, maybe about 6, 7, 8 months ago. Before Cardano even hit $1, we were talking about the $4 based on certain mathematics. Okay, so we're just keeping it cool, like, trying to understand where the market is and keeping it logical, right? When you look at the market cap, you calculate, like, for example, where we are today, we're at $2.30. If you take that and you go to the market cap and you start looking at the Cardano, all right, total market cap 70. So we're saying if it is $4, that's $140 billion market cap, which is logical, right? That's what we're saying. So we're not going to the moon. Some people say $100 Cardano, or no, we don't do that. We use logic. We say, for Ethereum, when it hits $8,000 a coin, this is number doubles. That's fine, logical. If Binance hits 1,000, this number can go to 160 billion, logical. If this doubles from where we are right now, and we were talking about when it was like a few cents, but we were saying like it's possible to do 140, 150 billion. That's possible. So that's what we're looking at. Those are the kind of figures. Even Solana, I believe is undervalued. Solana should be, in my opinion, should be around $200 billion. Right now, this should be around $200 billion. This should be the number 3 coin. I don't even know what it's doing here. Do you know what I mean? So it's not just about the price, the numbers, or when. You know, ifs and buts are very important too, right? That's ifs and buts are usually probabilities. Okay, so we know that Cardano, as long as the market is continuing, and if it breaks above this line, and if the news is good, it should start shooting back up. And remember, I think Cardano is going to surprise everybody, because a lot of the projects that we were expecting to launch did not launch. You know, talking about launch, we know Polkadot is going to launch soon. They're doing their parachains very soon. Yes, Yekta, I'm expecting 200, and I've been expecting 200 billion from when Solana was $1. Solana was $1. There are viewers on this channel who bought Solana back in February for peanuts. From this channel, they bought Solana in February 2021, sorry, February 2021. They bought Solana. January, February. Yeah, this is February. They bought it, but they bought Solana at $6-7 on this channel. They bought it. They've been holding. You know, these are viewers who are up from, say, for September, so February, just say February from here to where we are now. They're currently up. The viewers are up 4,800%. You know, Cardano. A lot of the people who followed me on Cardano have been in Cardano since 2018. 2018 we've been in Cardano. So from 2018, somewhere around here, basically up to here. We just look at where we are right now. We just calculate where we are now. That's a 5,900%. So this is what we do. So obviously during the bull cycle, or the end of the bull cycle, you can go and look at some of my videos that I've just talked about. Some of the videos on my channel where I've been telling people, guys, we've now come to a critical point of time in the crypto sphere, right? And everybody needs to start being logical and see the market for what it is, and understand that we are coming to the point where the market could easily end. The market could easily end. Of course, as long as the market doesn't go back to this, and let me show it this way. This is going to be really, really nice. Let me get rid of the drawings. Let me bring this in, right? So one of the critical things a lot of people need to understand, right, is market is super bullish. We're doing higher highs, and technically we've just had a high, and if we can close this slightly higher than the previous high we had, that's a high for us, right? Super. But there's nothing suggesting that the market does have to stay here or continue up to the moon. Market could end here. For us to find out if the market has ended, and this is crazy, right? For us to find out if this market is finished, this bull market is finished, we would have to come back to this level here, right? Let me delete some of this. We will have to come back to this level here. I mean, how insane is that? That for us to find out this bull market is over, we have to come back to 34. Are you prepared for that? Do you know what I mean? So this is the kind of stuff, like what cancels a bull market. Like, for example, what cancels this run that we had here? You know, why didn't this bull run succeed? Well, as soon as we started getting lows from the previous month, this is where the problem is. Or even here, for example, even if we were being friendly and we say, well, if we come back to this 43 level, bull market's finished. But that's a 20k drop for us to find out the bull market's over. And when the market goes over, everybody reacts. And this is not something you make up, right? I can go to the total market cap to show you. When the market goes down, everyone goes down. So when you're seeing this two red candles here, and you look here and you see the same pattern here, it's freaky, but it makes total sense that the market reacts with the big boys. So let's see what happens. Okay, let's see what happens. Now, while we're on that Bitcoin chart, let me show you some interesting facts on the chart that will make so much sense to you. I have shown it before, but I believe some of you guys are new, and I'm happy to show you guys again. Okay, Yekta says Solana has better gains till February. Of course, why not? You know, it's a growing currency, it's a growing ecosystem. A lot of projects have been built on it, and I don't see why it can't take some of the market share. And it doesn't even have to. I don't see why a lot of money is not going to be plugged into it. Solana is an awesome project. But anyway, I wanted to show you something that was quite funny when I looked at this on a monthly. There was something very funny about this. So what I've shown it before, and I'm going to show it again now. Okay, watch this. This is the month of April, right? This is the month of April. Fine. What we see is there's this history repeating itself, right? This is the month of April, right? April. Fine. We have the peak in April. We have the peak in April, right? Does that make sense to you, right? So you see this peak in April. We're looking at monthly. We peaked out in April, and here we peaked out in April, right? April. Let's put another line here just for the sake of it. April, right? Then we started dumping in May, right? So this candle here, let's put it here. This candle here, May, and then we do the same thing with this candle here in May. We dump, right? So we have 1 month. We stayed there for 2 months. So you can see this 2 months here, right? 2 months bloody, right? Let's put it this way. Hold on. So just put it inside here, right? So what you see here is this 2 months of bloody, because what the hell? Sorry guys, I hate this when it does that. So yeah, you got 2 red candles here, 2 months. So we've got May, June. Fine. We come back here, we see the same May, June, and you've got to think to yourself, it's like, why is this doing this? Why is there a repeating pattern? Well, because it's a fractal. A fractal pattern will always repeat. So what you see here is 2 month red. Then we see we start going back up again. So here, for example, July, August, September, October. Fine. What do we see here? July, September, July, August, September, October. Fine, everything looks okay, right? So we seem to be following the exact pattern. When did we break and have this shoot up right here? For example, in November. We're not in November yet, so what do we expect in November, right? That's the key. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to activate my log chart just to kind of show you some crazy stuff here. So what you see here is, can you see how this 1, 2, 3, 4 line, we touched that 4th line here, right? And I talked about this, I believe yesterday, the day before as well. You can see here, we touched that 4th line, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we got rejected. We came back, we stayed below this blue line until October. We did the same thing here. We stayed below this aqua blue line until October, when we peaked our head above. We just peaked our head above here as well. Now, if history repeats itself, November is a powerful month. So next month could be the end of the bull cycle. Next month could literally be the end of the bull cycle. So we're expecting next month for us to probably go and hit the 130, is it 130? Yeah, $135,000, and then it's end of the cycle. Everything could go parabolic, everything could shoot up, and we can make a whole ton of money, but you gotta have your sell orders. So I've told everybody on this videos, and I'll talk about it more on other times as well, I'm selling 50% around this red line. When we hit that red line, I'm selling 50% of all my liquid assets, and that's it. I'm out of the game. And then if it carries on for a little bit more, great, I'm okay with that. I have no issues. But I'm literally going to be selling everything, my alts, my BTC, anything I hold around this level, just to stay safe, because we know that anything could happen. Now, we have had one other situation where basically, for example, if you look here where we peaked out in October, very similar to this, but we continued, right? In November, we didn't really do much. So that scenario could also play. So November, we might just struggle around these fib lines. December, we finally managed to break. So we could have anything from a month to 2 months. Now, I know some people are saying, oh, this could last until February, March. I've said it as well, based on certain maths. but maybe for the alts, not for BTC, because historically you can see that the dumps usually start around the January. The dumps usually start right around the January month, right? It doesn't matter where you go. I mean, if you just look here, for example, we had this particular January is good, but if you look carefully, February dump start. It's always the same thing. These dumps start around here. So for that reason, I'm going to be cautious around that time. Are you looking for low cap gems or IDOs, less than 100 mil cap coins, new projects? Yes, Yekta, but I'm not looking for them now. You see, the key is right now, there's no point me looking at anything if the bull market's going to be over. If the market's going to this shit, why am I going to buy anything? Because when the market goes down, it goes down. It takes everything down. So I don't see any point me buying anything, because if I'm expecting this market to dump similar to this previous time, dumps here 82%, right? Or say 2013, where it dumped from here to here, right? 81%, right? Or say, for example, 2011. I'm about to show you, you're going to really understand what this means. Remember, I told you how patterns repeat themselves. Look, sorry. Top, bottom, boom, 93%, 81%, okay, 82%. You see where I'm coming from? 82%. Look at even this one. Let's even count this, or even go here, for example. Let's do this. From this 2019 to 2020, for example, 70%. So you end up seeing these dumps. Do you know what I mean? You end up seeing these dumps. So what I'm expecting is basically this market to come and give me at least, right? At least down here, 75%, 75 to 80%. If I can get that, that's where I want to be buying everything. I'm going to buy a whole bunch of coins. In fact, I've said I'm going to buy 1,000 coins. I'm going to go complete apeshit mad down here. I'm telling you, that's when I want to buy IDOs, ICOs, unknowns, the magic money, you name it, everything, I don't care what it is. I'm gonna go ape shit degenerate. I'm gonna buy everything. If it takes me to buy even something for $10, I will do that. I'll buy $10 worth of something, and if I get 1,000,000 coins for $10, I'll buy that as well. I don't care. This is when I want to be a degenerate, not here. Right now, I got to be starting to think about my exit strategy. That, guys, I've made enough money. God bless, I've made enough money. Now, I'm coming to that peak at some point. Do I have enough time to exit all my BTC, all my Ethereum, all my alt? But I'm talking about liquid. I'm not talking about hodling. Hodling is locked and thrown away. Keys are thrown away. Those are different. I don't even know where they are. But anything liquid sitting in exchanges, we need to have a sell order to make sure that we sell and get out, so we can come back next round and play this game. Do you know what I mean? So that's the whole idea here. That's how I personally play the game. You do you, I do me. Of course, do your own research. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to anybody. Don't listen to any YouTuber, any influencer out there. Only take what makes sense to you. You are responsible for your own finances, nobody else. I'm not a financial advisor. I can only tell you what I've seen in the repeating patterns, in these fractal patterns that we can take. Every 4-year cycle, we've had this fractal pattern constantly playing, where the market goes up, doesn't matter how high, but the dumps are close to that 90%. Here we've had this thing and it was a 81%. Here again 82%. So we can see that the dumps are getting lower, but the dumps are pretty much balanced. We haven't gone to that level where we're going to see a 50% dump, right? So it doesn't matter what cycle you look at, these dumps are continuous. So for that reason, I'm thinking there's a probability we might have anything from 50 to 70%, maybe even 80% when the market ends. And regardless whether the market ends or not, there's a time in the future, I can't tell you when, we are going to come and, whether we go up, down, we are going to come to touch this bottom line. And bottom line means this line doesn't exist in the future. Remember, this line could be here, this line could be here, but what I'm saying is we are going to touch this bottom line. That's the key. That's where I want to be buying, because I know that's the bottom of the market. Does that make sense to you? Remember, this area of the chart existed, right? And this is how you can check this, right? Check this out. This is so crazy, right? So here, so when you put it on the daily, right? This is so cool to see, right? It's a lot of people don't understand this. See this line here on the daily, the last section of this line is today, and then the line continues. Do you see how the line continues? So there's nothing here, but this is able to show us, like for example, when we were down here, this is so funny, like a lot of people don't know this. I want you to go and test this out. Theory is hilarious. When we were down here or down here, we were already seeing this same line. So that's how this line stayed. It doesn't really change. Even when you do weekly, same thing. This damn line didn't change. It just stayed there. So down here, you were able to see that these are the great zones to buy. So when I'm looking at this, and I have to look at it at a small time frame, obviously, I'm not going to be stupid and look at it for 5 years. So if I just take a year, right? If I just take a year block and I say, I want to use this year block and see how it would be projected here. Well, I can just take this and say, well, I know in a year's time, it's going to be down here. The low may be down here. So that just kind of helps you out, so you know where that low is going to be, and that's your target to buy. Who's here? I see awesome. KR, thank you very much. I see San for Bandari. Can you please look for Veracity? Let's have a look at Veracity. VRA. Of course, you're noticing Veracity because VRA has now been pumped or whatever. Of course, why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised that people only look at a coin after it's been pumped? Why didn't you talk about Veracity when it was here? You know what I mean? Why are you talking about Veracity when it's here? But it's common it's a common problem a lot of investors have. I mean, here, for example, what do you want me to see? Right? Do you want me to tell you where the possibility is? So the probability for this particular coin is it might go to 10 cents. Great. So you've got yourself a number. It might go to 10 cents. There you go. That's all you've got. Nothing else. Absolutely nothing else. Because you're looking at this coin now at the top of a market. You are asking to get wrecked. You're asking to get wrecked. Remember, what goes up must come down. So when we start looking at something like this, we know that this has a possibility, and I'll show you the possibility, and I'll show you some drawings on the possibilities. So we know we've got this hyperparabolic pattern here, which is fine, right? This is our trend line. So we know we have a trend line, and we know our trend line doesn't go straight all the way. And if it did, then it's dangerous. It's done this, fine. It's probably going to do this. Well, it's probably come back down here because what I'm looking at is this area here. This zone here. Hold on, let me do it this way. So I'm looking at this particular zone here, and I'm seeing, okay, we've had this area, we've come here, we've broken up, we tested it, we went up, we might come here, test it, but then we still have a chance to come back here. You know what I mean? So if you are looking to buy some, don't buy the top of the candle. That's the worst place to buy. Buy the bottom of this candle. Right, or wait for it to come back to this candle and then buy it. Okay, because there are greater trend lines in play as well. So what you just saw there was just a shorter trend line. If I'm to put a greater trend line, you can see this is the greater trend line, right? And the greater trend line says that it will come back to test those levels. You see, it will come back to test those levels on the greater trend line. So if I take this one away, look, it will come back to test it. So please do understand, you know, I understand you guys come out with all these coins, and I'm probably the only YouTuber. Well, I'm not probably the only, but I am one of those guys. I don't mind talking about it. Honestly, I would happily talk about your Veracity or whatever you want, VRA or KRA or whatever, right? I mean, if you have a net coin under your name, I'll talk about that as well. I don't have a problem. The only thing I have a problem with is you shouldn't be asking about these tokens here, guys. You should be asking about these tokens when it's down here, when we are bearish, when we are bloody. So come and ask me when we're bloody. Like, for example, here's a coin. I'll give you a coin and I'll tell you, I've been mentioning this to a few of the clients and a few of the people. I said, woo, right? And I said, look, it looks super solid. And so far, look what Woo's done. It's a bit bloody. It's 5% down. There's no harm. 5% down where? 5% down exactly on its previous resistance. So this is on a breakout. Now, of course, if it breaks out from this particular area, the potential is quite high. So I've put one area breaking out of this triangle here, and I think we're almost reached it. Now the next target is break out of this zone, and funnily, look, it gives us slightly higher target than our 1618. You see what I mean? And the percentage we're looking at was here already. So look at that. Do you know what I mean? This is the target. So these are coins you should be looking at, the coins that nobody else is looking at, right? Whatever is bloody, that's what you're looking at. Like, for example, FTM, we talked about. FTM is gone parabolic. Look at that, gone parabolic. But the reason FTM is pumping is because of all that great news. So it's one of those buy the news, buy the rumor, sell the news. So a lot of rumor has been going on. A lot of news is out there regarding what FTM is doing, and FTM has a lot of pump happening to it until the end of the month, and pattern seems to be okay. And from what I can see, if you haven't bought it already, it could easily come back here and then carry on doing this, you know what I mean? But there has to be a time where you have to exit, and for us, we've got a target, the Fibonacci, where we take our initial, which is the $3.75. That's where we will be taking our initial out, right? So that's what we're doing. Here's a coin I've mentioned recently on a video. I'm sure I mentioned it somewhere around this level here. I can't remember, but it's already done quite a bit since I mentioned it. I said, look guys, here's a coin, Ascendex, right? If you buy it, you've got these levels here, and you can see these potential gains. So whoever bought it has already made this gain, and then you can see each target for us. Obviously, this may never be possible because this was the original all-time high. We're down here, but we're looking at how much discount we're getting. Does that make sense to you? So from the previous all-time high, we dumped up to here, which was an 89% discount. So now the market's trending back up. You can easily start moving back up again. So I hope that kind of makes sense. You said you will come out of 50% also. Oh, KL says you have just answered my question. Of course I have. And listen guys, I'm on Discord as well, so if you, after the show, we do come on Discord. The link should be somewhere in the description. You can come to Discord and talk to me later on. Obviously when I'm free I will answer. Just leave a message there for me under my thing and I'll talk about it. But yeah, that's what it is. There's plenty of coins here. I mean, always remember, target the coin that is bloody, right? Target the coin. Here's the coin, Assemble. Here's a coin called Assemble, right? This is what Assemble's done in a week. Am I going to pick it up now? No, it's done its green. It should have been picked up around here or around here, or any one of these. That's where it should have been picked up, any one of these coins, candles. But now that it's done that, I'm not going to recommend that to anybody. Here's a coin that's already done the Coinbase pump. So if someone picked it up here, done the Coinbase pump, you could have made yourself bagged out anywhere from here to here, approximately, let's have a look, let's see, approximately 163%. But now it's too late. Of course, some form or manner, it's not, you can still buy it because it's still on the neckline and it has the potential to go up there. It's fine, but that's more risky now. A green candle for you guys or a blue candle for me, it's more risky. The best time is a red candle. And it's something you have to constantly get into your head, that, okay, what's the best time to buy? Here's a good one. Look, BTU protocol. That's a great time to buy. It's red. It's bloody. Everyone's leaving. This is a good time to buy. Look at the total structure. Look at how this market has been doing its thing. It had its dump. It came back down. It recovered. It got dumped with everything else as the market did. Came down here, found support, and started trending back up. Now it's here. It's bloody. That's when you buy. Oh, it's all to do with mentality, psychology. Luna yesterday did a lovely little pump. Can you see this? Look at this. Luna done a massive pump, and here, black and white, we've already got our target for Luna. It's insane target, but we do have our target set up, which is between $56 to $83. And we were talking about Luna way down here, but anyway, I can't remember when, but I said pick it up again if people want to. That was Luna. I mean, Rune, Rune is a coin that I talked about when Rune had its hack, and I said, guys, ape into Rune right now. It's a great project. Ape into Rune. So those are the guys who did ape into Rune at that price during that hack. It was exactly on that same day when the hack happened. We're 250% up from this level, not from original. So obviously there's more, but this is the time when we topped up. So that's Rune. Do you know what I mean? You buy it when it's bloody, when it's getting battered, and if it's a good project, that's when you buy it. I mean, there's plenty more. Plenty more. We can go on. Let's see what else. There was another one. Hold on. Somebody else mentioned some things. IOTX I did. Matic I talked about. Orchid I done. Velaspad IDO. Velas. I've heard of Velas. I mean, we talked about Velas the other day, right? $0.85, 30 million out, a billion supply, 3 million out. Sorry, I'm just lost here. Anyway, billion supply, 30 million out. Only 3% of the supply being sold to everybody. So where is the other 97%? Let's have a look. Volume, I don't care about that. Low market cap volume. Hold on. So it's built on Ethereum. It's sharing liquidity with BScan. So they launched it on 2 places. Let's have a look at Etherscan. %, sitting here. Why? Why is 97% sitting here? So there's one whale who has 97% of all of those, and you want to talk about Velaspad. One whale has this. Velaspad, Game Zone, Adapad, Etherpad, Adapad. Do you not see what this is? Listen, guys, don't ruin the day for me. Honestly, this stuff here is just pure scammers. Yeah, good luck on your pads. That's all I'm going to say, guys. Other than that, oh my days. Coston is asking for Zilliqa. Zilliqa's a good project. Zilliqa's getting a massive pump because of a lot of XCAD news. So I've talked about XCAD before, and XCAD, look at XCAD. Look at this how beautiful XCAD is, right? If you just look at XCAD, and I did this earlier on, XCAD has done 568% already. Even now, where it is actually, it's 400% up from its bottom. That's an awesome gain. I've been talking about XCAD for some time now. I believe somewhere around here or here, I can't remember, guys, but I have been talking about XCAD for some time, and the Zilliqa partnership and how it's helping Zilliqa as well. Well, they're about to launch, I believe, next week. They're about to launch. So it's a moment of truth. We either break out of the previous high and create some crazy numbers, or we dump down. So from what I'm thinking, I don't think it's going to dump because it's got quite a few big names. I talked about how Mr. Beast and KSI invested real money into this. So of course they're not going to just give up in a week if they've put their own real money there. So we do see a great potential there. And for me, if I'm just going to go by Fibonacci's, then we look at $7.32 for XCAD, and that's going to help Zilliqa because it was actually built on Zilliqa, right? So let me get Zilliqa for you. It was actually built on Zilliqa, and that's what's pumping Zilliqa right now. So for Zilliqa, you can see we've already looked at this tightening channel, how we've coming into the channel. You can see how we need to break above this neckline, right? So we've got this little neckline here we need to break above. We've been testing this coming into this range. We're going to break above this 786 level on the Fibonacci. Once we do, we should smash through this. In my opinion, I can see that smash through this, probably even test the 1618. Now the reason I'm saying we're going to smash through this is there's two levels here I looked at. It's quite funny. So if you add this area here, this just line here, and if you start looking at the difference that we have from the high to the bottom here, right? Just say here, just this is a rough one. And if you take this and you put it here as a breakout point, look at this, around the 1618 Fibonacci. So Zilliqa is looking very, very positive. Next week we should see a massive pump on Zilliqa because the Zilliqa blockchain is being used for XCAD. Whether XCAD does it or not is a different story, but as I said, the probability and the likelihood is a lot less. But Zilliqa is definitely going to get a pump. It's getting noticed because, I mean, this is a coin that was sitting at 0.001 cent at some point. Do you know what I mean? It was just sitting nowhere. I mean, if you look at this in 2020, it was sitting at 0.01. 0.01, I remember. I did actually track him down. There's a guy, can't even see it. Oh my days, I can't even see it here on this chart. But there's a guy, he had it at, here, 0.001, somewhere around this price here, right? He had it at 0.001. I remember, this is 2, but he had it at that ridiculous. So I tracked him down. I said, do you still have it? He said, I do. He still has his Zilliqa. So just for example, if we take it from this price to where Zilliqa is today, that's 3,491%, 90%. And if you go back to the all-time high, that's an 8,000% pump. 8,000% pump, guys. So he's done all right. Good luck to him. You know, he's a believer. He held on, but again, he held on because he only invested money he could afford to lose. He only invested money that he could afford to lose. Probably invested a couple $100, but he only put a couple hundred. He didn't put his life saving in there. Does that make sense to you? And he has his strategy, and he's like, okay, I bought it at the bottom. I'm only going to sell it at the top when I know the market's ending. And he's good like this. He's done it a few times. He's actually recycled BTC a few times like this. So he's really cool. So that's what I'm seeing for Zilliqa. My target would be around the 16 for now. This is a short-term target. Of course, you do have the long-term target, which is the previous all-time high, guys. So remember, you're always, if you have a previous all-time high, your ultimate target should be the previous all-time highs, right? And in between that, these are safety brackets, right? Safety zones. So for example, if you're playing this, the idea should be like, okay, I'm here right now. I've made 54%. You know, I wouldn't say 54% is enough. For me, if I made this much, like 100%, right? So if I come around here, so if we go to about 20 cents and we made 100%, if you bought it here, that's when I will take my initial out and then leave the remainder to carry on up to the moon or wherever. Do you know what I mean? But the potential is good. So far, so good. Everything's looking positive. I ain't complaining about that. Market's holding very strong. Very, very strong indeed. Let's go back to some of our top-notch favorites, right? Let's have a look at our favorites. Bit is doing okay, holding trend, and I actually drew some boxes to show you guys what Bit is really doing. So Bit is in this channel, and according to this channel, so this was the first channel. This white line, you see, this was the first channel. According to the first channel, we were supposed to break out, right, and come and test this line. We did that. Then according to this, again, this area here, if we take it, we got a Fibonacci sitting at the $3.08. And when I calculated the top of this and the bottom of this channel, it gives me a higher amount at the $3.56, which is quite funny because if I do this, then it takes me close enough to that level. Do you know what I mean? So I looked at that and I was like, okay, when I'm looking at all of this, when I'm doing these fibs, right, it kind of takes me to that specific level or even higher. It gets crazy. So let's see. I'm still bullish on this, super bullish on this. Let's see what that does. Gala, again, similar. There's this pattern. This is the expectation, and then once we break the expectation, this is the new expectation that we have, and obviously we want to go all the way up there. And to see this, you can see it on a line chart, where we are right now. So again, it hasn't broken out. It's got a lot of volume. There's a lot of buy and sell on Gala on all the major exchanges. It just hasn't made that move yet. This one's still struggling to break out of this top range, as you can see here. Still struggling to break this. Once it breaks this, then we're going to shoot for this, and that's our target, where I've said that, guys, if the guys who bought it here, the target should be here to take your initial out if you want to. If not, then we're going all the way to 32, probably even more, but 32 would be a nice area to take your initial out. Eagle broke out the channel in a single day, smashed through, found rejection. You don't make this up. We did talk about how we always find rejection on the bottom of any previous support zones or previous resistance zones. So right now you can see that resistance is exactly on the dot, on the line. You don't make it up. Right, there it is, exactly on the line. That's where the resistance is. So we need to obviously get out of that, and then we've got brand new targets. We've got two targets. Our first target is $367. Our second target is $412. SHIB holding strong, holding the trend, absolutely holding the trend, creating higher highs, or technically lower highs, but doesn't matter. Still creating highs, but it's on a trend line. That's what matters. On a daily, you got this trend line, absolutely fine. I think it's just gonna, I mean, Robinhood has mentioned something about it. They are working on it. The engineers are working on it, but they don't have a time frame when they're going to launch. That means it's an acknowledgement, indirect acknowledgement. They are launching on Robinhood very soon. So that's definitely coming there. We talked about Cardano, so no point talking about Cardano anymore. Cardano is going to do its thing. And remember, I'm a holder. I'm still holding. I'm holding since it was like 6 cents. So I ain't giving up my Cardano yet, right? I'm still holding. Do you know what I mean? I'm still holding. I know Cardano is going to surprise people. Solana doing awesome. Ignore all of this. Solana doing awesome, as you can see. We did talk about it a little while ago, and I just wanted to show you my targets. So I'm not bothered about the breakout. This is exactly where we got rejected, but my target is $244 first target. Second target is $337, and then of course in the future some higher numbers up to $500-600, maybe even $700. So $500 to $700 is my moderate target. The super bullish target is about $1,300 to $1,400. I doubt we're going to hit that number. If we do, good luck to all of us. Okay, dot rejection, you know, on that zone here. As soon as it breaks out, I've got some nice crazy targets for it. Number one target is 52, nothing too much, you know, from the previous high which we had at 49 to 52 is nothing. Number two target 60, again nothing, and then we have a 79, nothing, and I'm expecting it to go to at least 100. So I do have a minimum target around 100. That's where I'm trying to take my initial out, and then leave the remainder and carry on with the market and see where the market takes us. BNB, I did expect, I have mentioned to you guys before, BNB, you know, once we break this previous high, and my target is actually between 900 to 1100, but around 900 would be when I would exit. Right, that's my BNB target. I've talked about Ethereum. Ethereum is super bullish. I've been telling everyone since God knows when, stick to your Ethereum. And we did leave this pattern here. This is an ABC pattern, sorry, a 1, 2, 3 pattern that I've been kind of predicting, saying, guys, it's going to happen. The line is still there, the drawing's still there. I left it there. So far, where we are, we obviously got to break the previous high. Once we break the previous high, we have a new target here, 4,533. And then, as you can see, I do have a 5,200 as my first target. And as we progress, these targets start to get higher and higher. So after 5,200, it becomes 7,000, and so on and so forth. I don't want to give you the higher numbers just to make you hopeful. No point. Let's hit the targets, then we create a new target and we move on from there. So currently, my best target is $7,000 for Ethereum, and moderate is about 5,200. So I'm going to observe the market and see what it does there. If we're going to ask about BTC, I know some of you guys may be asking for BTC just in case. So we'll drop a BTC one here as well for you. No worries at all. Give me a second. I'm just going to go on a weekly. I'm going to just bring out my log chart, because the only BTC target that I have is based on this log chart, nothing else. So my BTC target for me to exit is around the $114,000 level. You know, not six figures, I mean not 100k, right? It's a little bit more than 100k, because you can see here is about 104, right? So my target is approximately 114k. That's where I want to exit. It's basically, as soon as I touch this red line, 50% of all of my BTC is going to go, and 50% should give me enough profits from all the way from here. So should give me enough profits in that 50%, and my initial back as well. So that's what I'm targeting, and then the remainder I'm going to hold just in case the market peaks out, and if it does on the way down, I'm going to sell the rest of it and get out. So I hope this kind of makes sense. I'm not going to make this any longer. Like, share, subscribe, guys. That would be really, really awesome. Thank you very much for those of you guys who have actually subscribed recently. I can see Boris has subscribed. I can see Sanfor Bandari has subscribed. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you very much for subscribing, because I do get a notification in my ear when it did happen. I just didn't see it, but awesome. Thank you very much for joining the family. And remember, I do have a Discord where you can come and have a, like, just leave a message for me or something, or sometimes I'm there and we'll have a conversation. Not an issue. We're growing the community and seeing where we go from there. So yeah, other than that, guys, I'm not gonna make this any longer. I'm gonna go. It's about 3:45 now. So like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you on another one very soon. Other than that, adios, my amigos. It's been a pleasure being here. Thank you, Kostan, for coming to the show. Yekta, thank you very much. Bronovic, thank you very much, bro. Highlighter, awesome. Tamil, awesome, thank you very much. KR, Sanford Bandari, awesome. Everybody, awesome, awesome, awesome. Coming to the show, making the chat more interactive does really help. So guys, I'm gonna catch you on another one very soon. Adios, my amigos. It's been a pleasure.